I've helped thousands learn professional ethical hacking, and if you want to master it fast, here's the shortest guide you'll ever need. First things first, you need to get your hacking lab set up. If you don't have a proper setup, no worries. You can easily get started by setting up a new virtual machine on VMware or VirtualBox. This way, you create a barrier and protect your main operating system, such as Windows, from your hacking lab. Pro tip, set up snapshots on your VM. This functionality gives you an undo button, so you can easily roll back to a clean and mission-ready hacking lab if you break something. Install Kali Linux. This is the go-to OS for hacking. It comes preloaded with all the tools you need to get started, and then some, like Nmap, Metasploit, Burp Suite, and Wireshark. Remember, this video is for educational purposes only. Always ensure you have permission before engaging in any hacking activities. Before we dive into the hacking process and tools, you should get familiar with networking basics, things like IP addresses, DNS, ports, and protocols. Brush up on your understanding of how data flows through a network. This will separate you from 99% of beginners who jump in with both feet into hacking without knowing any basics. Now, before we dive into the phases of hacking, I know it can feel overwhelming with all the tools and techniques and commands you have to learn. That's why I've created the ultimate hacking cheat sheet, designed to give you a shortcut to mastering hacking faster. Stick around till the end and I'll show you how to grab it. 5 phases of hacking. Reconnaissance. This is where you gather information about your target. Scanning. Find open ports and weak points. Gaining access. Exploit those weaknesses to break in. Maintaining access. Create backdoors to stay in secretly. Covering tracks. Erase logs and hide your footprints. Write this down. If there is one thing you should remember from this video, it's this process. I just gave you the hacker's blueprint. Now, let's dive deeper into the different phases and drop some golden nuggets. Phase 1, reconnaissance. This is where you collect all available information about your target before launching any attack. Knowledge is power. The more you know about your target, the better your chances for success. Passive reconnaissance. In this phase, you gather information without directly interacting with the target. Open source intelligence. Tools like Shodan and Google Dorking can reveal a treasure trove of information. Shodan is like Google for hackers. It can show you which devices are publicly exposed to the internet, from webcams to industrial control systems. Just a few clicks can reveal dangerous vulnerabilities. Active reconnaissance. Directly engaging with the target system. Scanning tools like Nmap or Netcat are your best friends here. Use Nmap to discover open ports, services running, and the operating system of the target. Never underestimate the power of a simple WHOIS lookup. You can get domain registration details, email addresses, and even physical addresses of your target, which is valuable for social engineering. Phase 2, scanning and enumeration. Once you've gathered your intel, you need to scan for vulnerabilities and enumerate details about your target. Vulnerability scanning. You need tools to check for weaknesses. Nessus and Nikto are great tools to start scanning for known vulnerabilities on the target system. Nessus can scan for 50,000 plus vulnerabilities, but beware, just finding vulnerabilities isn't enough. Knowing how to exploit them is key. Enumeration. This sub-phase dives deeper. Use tools like Netcat or Enum for Linux systems to get detailed information such as usernames, shares, and group memberships from the target. SMB enumeration is a goldmine. You can gain detailed insights into the target system's network shares, users, and system configurations using SMB client. Phase 3, gaining access. Now, this is where the magic happens. If you've done your prep right, you should be able to exploit vulnerabilities and gain access to the system. Exploiting vulnerabilities. Using tools like Metasploit, you can exploit vulnerabilities in the system. A classic example is exploiting a buffer overflow in software or using SQL injection to get into a database. The Metasploit framework is a must-learn. It contains hundreds of exploits, auxiliary modules, and payloads for different types of attacks, including reverse shells and web application attacks. Web application exploitation. Web applications are a common target for hackers. Burp Suite is your best tool here for intercepting HTTP requests, finding flaws like XSS, SQL injection, and CSRF. SQL injection isn't just for getting access to data. With advanced SQL injections, you can escalate privileges and potentially take full control of a system or database. Phase 4, maintaining access. Once you have access, you want to stay in. In penetration testing, this is crucial to mimic what a real attacker might do to ensure they can access the system later. Backdoors. Tools like Netcat or reverse shells allow you to maintain access to the target system. After gaining access, creating a persistent backdoor is key. Even if the system gets rebooted or the target detects an initial intrusion, a backdoor allows you to access it again. Rootkits and malware. Now we're touching on advanced stuff. Rootkits can modify the kernel of a system to allow permanent administrative access without detection. Detecting and removing these requires advanced knowledge of how an operating system works. Phase 5. Clearing tracks. A good hacker doesn't leave traces of their actions, ensuring that the target system isn't leading back to them or corrupting systems. Use tools like Log Cleaner to erase logs that show your exploits. Time stomping is an advanced technique where you modify the timestamp of log entries to cover your tracks. It's often used to delete evidence of your activities. Finally, you should clean up. This ensures that no backdoors or tools you've left behind can be used after the test. You don't want to leave anything that could be exploited in the future. While it's essential to clean up after yourself, remember, when you're doing a penetration test for a client, always make sure they're aware of your activities beforehand and get explicit consent. When I started out, I remember feeling completely overwhelmed by all the tools, commands, and techniques I had to learn. That's exactly why I created the Ultimate Hacking Cheat Sheet, to give you a shortcut to mastering hacking as fast as possible. With everything you need to know in one place, you'll save time, avoid frustration, and be able to focus on what really matters. Stop wasting time searching through forums and videos. Get instant access to the exact commands, techniques, and methods that professional hackers use daily. Grab it now from the link in the description. Happy hacking!